Okay, just a quick update for you guys, just to know how I'm feeling just in this current moment before I actually get into everything. I just got back from work. It is like 6 inches or so of snow outside, which I haven't seen in a while. My entire area has been under winter weather warning for the past couple of days. I'm soaked, my feet hurt, and Jesus Christ. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to know my mindset, just in case I seem a little too agitated towards certain things, which means either I'm really passionate or something else happened, which is basically, which is basically the latter, because again, my feet hurt. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into everything. Okay, so for a while, we knew that the Academy had different plans that they wanted to implement over their next couple of shows, or something, you know, basically getting the most out of their annual broadcasts, and also hoping to improve on the ratings compared to the past few years, and make an increase instead of a decrease in viewership, which it has been for the past 5 years or so. But anyway, some of these ideas have ranged from very, very bad ideas, such as the popular film category, which I think that they're still trying to implement in some way, even if it takes years and years to actually get it to the point where everybody's like, you know what, we're fine with that. But of course there were some good ideas too, including this one that the video is about, which is just the concept of shortening the runtime by presenting certain awards from certain categories during commercial breaks. I still think it's a great idea, putting those categories that the majority of people who are going in to see maybe don't care as much about. You know, I actually think it's a great idea to still do that, and specifically, you know, a lot of us were thinking of some of these, but these are my particular ones. I mean, live-action short, animated short, feature-length documentary, and short subject documentary, you know, those things that could cut the broadcast by at least 10 minutes. And I love the concept, provided that the idea was to mainly target those specific lesser important categories. Not that they're not important, I'm just saying, like, the majority of people don't actually watch the Oscars to really tune in on what the winner for Best Documentary is. And also, just as an FYI before I officially start, I'm okay with them cutting original song performances as well. Just the performance is not the category. You know, either don't do any of the live performances, or do them all. Don't decide to do 2 specific ones and then get basically bullied into letting all 5 perform them. All or none. All or none. Anyway, back on topic. So, thanks to an article that I actually have on here, I don't have any special editing software to, you know, post up the article, but, you know, I'll basically go through it. I'll paraphrase as much as I can. But thanks to an article from the Hollywood Reporter earlier today, while I was at work, I only just saw it now that I got home, but we now have confirmation on the categories that will be cut this year, the ones that will be put during the commercial breaks, but only to be, you know, live streamed online for those who have a legitimate interest in looking at them. And also, they plan on doing a small recap closer to the end of the night to show, like, you know, who won, as well as, like, a snippet of their speech, which I feel like kind of defeats the purpose. But anyway, according to the article, these are the affected categories. We have cinematography, live-action short, film editing, and makeup and hairstyling. So let's start with the ones that make the most sense to me. Obviously, live-action short. That was one of the ones that I threw out there earlier. It may have even been the first one that I said, because, you know, it's one of my picks. And makeup and hairstyling. While I do find that one to be fairly important as far as a category, I can understand the reasoning that anybody else could bring up to me, suggesting that maybe it's not as important. So that one's not as much of a big deal. However, here's the other 2 I don't like, because even if there's even if this was not the part of the Academy's reasoning, putting any category in this new way of presentation was always going to seem like a downgrade, a kind of demotion, and one of the core aspects of making a film, one of, okay, I had a brain fart, give me a second. Oh, one of the core aspects that makes a film one of the best, which is pretty much what the Academy is supposed to be focusing on, is the technical side of things, which I've told you guys many times before. The parts that I get the most out of in a movie are the technical aspects, and two of them are in this one: cinematography and film editing. Cinematography and editing are usually the two most essential components on how a film is, and both of these things can make or break a film. For instance, the cinematography of a film can lead to some of the most iconic scenes in all of film. That moment in the first Star Wars film where you see Tatooine from above and you see a small starship trying to escape a giant-ass cruiser that more is getting revealed, slowly making its presence known on the top portion of our screens. That scene in Kill Bill Volume 1 where the bride is fighting about 6 guys in the dark, and the only color present other than the black in their silhouettes is the color blue. That shot in Blade Runner where Rachel is sitting down, you know, staring at Deckard, and you can see just from that shot, you can see hints that she's a replicant, stuff like that. And you know, we recognize these scenes because of how beautifully they're constructed. And as for film editing, it's important because it is the key, in my opinion, to blending images and sounds in order to make us, the audience, feel emotionally connected and sometimes truly feel like we ourselves are in the movie that we are watching. And sure, the Hollywood Reporter, the article also mentioned, let me see, that the categories each year will be rotated between 4 and 6 and will mostly be based off of each branch volunteering to be a part of it. But I still feel like that's something that either people would rather not do, or they feel like maybe they have no choice in the end. But anyway, that's my own speculation. And on top of that, this could in the future showcase what the Academy sees as the important categories. You know, the ones that will never be shown during commercial breaks. I mean, Best Picture won't ever be because, you know, that's the end-all, be-all category, and nobody expects it. And hell, I think, if anything, we'd be annoyed if it was. But if they do this for a few years, and quite a few categories have been consistently put on that, I'm going to call it a chopping block. They've been put on that chopping block, and there are a few that have never been put through that system, then I think we will know which categories the Academy has deemed important enough to showcase during their live show on ABC in order to keep their ratings from decreasing. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. I don't like the situation. I get that the Academy is... I get that it's kind of a for-profit organization, and that they need to make money, and they make their money from, you know, viewings and ratings, but I just feel like they should be above these kind of tactics where they're trying to please everybody, because in the end they're going to please nobody. And, you know, I'll talk a little bit about it in another video whenever I get to my predictions for the wins for this year, but honestly, I'm not planning on watching the Oscars this year because I'm just disappointed in how everything has gone. But anyway, that's another situation for another time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for just listening to everything that I had to say in this video. Hopefully I can come out with more videos like this where I just project my thoughts. But of course, I can't promise that it will be on a consistent basis, but I will definitely try because I really enjoy doing things like this. But anyway, now it's your guys' turn. Do you want to keep the discussion going? Just go ahead, comment down below. Tell me why you agree with me, maybe why you disagree with me, maybe even give your own insight on things that maybe I didn't think about or everybody else didn't think about. I really love hearing other viewpoints, but... you know, now all that I have left to say is just thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do not hesitate to... I always have an issue wording that part out. If you enjoyed the video, please do not hesitate to hit that like button, finally. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with everything that's going on the channel. Farewell until the next video, and have a good day.